We are back in the building, folks.
In the building, and I'm feeling myself.
We got transitions and injuries and all
Everybody,
kind of
greeting and
stuff.
You feel
salutations.
me?
Yes, we got Western up in this place, Blacks up in here.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on?
What,
How you
what's
feeling,
up?
Western?
He's always working, even when
Yeah,
he ain't working.
that's cool. Working
Can
hard.
he even
All
can he even hear?
I think there might be something wrong with Western's audio. We always gotta have something.
Can you hear? He
We
got
gotta
that.
work on Western's.
He got that. He got that. What's going on? Look on his face. Like y'all talking about me?
Hold on
What's up to
one
the
second.
chat?
There we go. There we go.
What is up?
What up,
Hey, guys,
Western?
hear me
What
now?
up, Western?
What's up, brother? Hey, am I good now?
Yeah, you're good.
You guys hear me?
Can hear you?
Good.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Good.
All
We
right.
did
Yeah,
this.
man. No rest for the wicked, man. But I had
Man,
to, take some time off. So that way, we could all collaborate here, and go live. So I'm always happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
yes.
We're happy to have you back. Happy to have my boy Black back.
Man,
We're
on
ready
injured
to
reserve, boy.
It has been a crazy time to be a content creator. So
Right. This is my contract year, and I'm starting off like Steph Curry. What's going on?
This is contract year.
I gotta perform this year.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, speaking of performing, how about those Raiders?
How about those Raiders?
We got a
Let's talk
schedule
about
released.
Let's talk about these
We got-
Raiders.
We got all kind of stuff to talk about, but we're gonna start where, for many of us, it all began. Derek Carr retired.
Oh, that's where we starting.
That's where we're starting.
Well,
Yeah, you go first.
for all the Raider fans that I have seen a couple snide comments, which is kind of like I don't like that. We gotta, you don't never want to see a player like have to bow out for an injury, but when you give your all and leave it on the field and win, lose, or draw, that's an accomplishment because the average, I don't know what the average player in the league, 3-4 years for real. And if you're able to really have a career and you were able to provide for your family and play the game that you love above the record and all the stuff. I mean, I salute Derek Carr. I always was a DC4 fan from before he got to the Raiders. Before draft day, I was hoping we picked him. So, shout out to him and his family. They're going through some things, and his spirit was led to retire. So shout out to him and thanks for what he's done to the for the Raiders franchise, keeping us as relevant as we have been. And it's only to recently, like this offseason, where we really feel like we're climbing the mountain again. And I want to thank DC for at least being a soldier and being a true Raider for real. So shout out to him.
Absolutely. Western, what's your thoughts on that?
It sucks. Just like how Black said that injury had to hinder him from coming back on the field and to play ball for the Saints or just play ball in general. And just like how Black said, I'm thankful for the time that he was here with us, right? And once a Raider, always a Raider, and it was a hell of a time that we had, with them.
Yeah.
It was just a bummer that things didn't pan out as expected, right? But if I just say if he wasn't injured, I see him playing for at least like another 2, 3, 4 years, and
Right.
yeah, but I will say that I did see a video his first day of retirement where his wife was like filming him throughout the day, day, and he looked happy, and he was at peace. He was at home. He was playing with his kids. He was running around in the backyard. He was playing golf. So it was good, to kind of see him, happy after,
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah.
I mean, they do it. I mean, the reason why they do it is for family too. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, the family needs to reap the benefit too, and it's just his family's time. And he's a real family-oriented guy. So to hear you say that, I haven't seen the video, but I'm glad to hear that, because if you can make peace with that with yourself, then that kind of helps. But you always going to miss the camaraderie of being with teammates. You know what I'm saying? As being an ex-player and all that, that's the one thing that you do miss. So I'm glad he's able to take time with his family. My bad, HB.
Oh, no. Beautiful. No, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, he's happy. And if he's happy, that's all that really matters, right? Like, the dude gave a lot to this team. I respect the hell out of Derek Carr. I think he'll probably end up being a coach one day, right? If he ever wanted to come back into the league, he could be a hell of a coach. And I think a quarterback coach, start. And
yeah.
I'd love to have him here. I think he's a good leader of men, right? A good role model for people in the community and that sort of stuff. It really does suck that it had to end by injury. We never got the chance to face him, right?
Right. Well, at least he'll never lose to all 32 teams, right? It just happened to be the Raiders that he hasn't lost to.
Yeah, true.
No, it didn't want to see him go out like that, just because, he was such a dynamic player, especially before the injury in 2016. I was really excited when we drafted him, and I have much respect for him. So shout out to Derek and his family. Just nothing but respect for what you guys have done and what Derek did on the field. So just unfortunate it had to end so soon, because like you said, he had years left, right, of being a viable starting quarterback in the NFL. It just kind of just didn't work out.
What was it? What was it? He said it was his shoulder degenerating or something like that.
Yeah, they found something in his shoulder that's gonna get worse, and by the time he tries to put it all together, he probably have to miss this whole season, right? And then at his age, I can see why he's like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, he was already in the hot. He was already in the hot seat, kind of. You know what I mean?
So he's gonna come back to not really having a job, and then he gotta find something. Like, that's not. He don't deserve that. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve that for how well he's played in his career. So if he wants to go, be a preacher, which I assume that
right,
then he should go do that, right? Especially if that's what's moving in his heart or whatever,
Yeah.
So, shout out to Derek. I just wanted to spend some time to start off like that, just because the man holds all these records, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times are you cheering for this dude? He made a fourth quarter comeback and delivered. Just remember that.
Right.
So once a Raider, always a Raider. So respect to Derek Carr. All right. Next thing I wanted to talk about, schedule came out. Did y'all see the schedule release video?
Oh, like they were
videos I've seen, man.
It
reminds me
the one that they were pranking their teams. They were pranking all the different teams. That was the one. Yeah,
that reminded me of the old Sports Center commercials in the mid 2000s. Those early ones. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Classics. Sammy Sosa.
Right, those was classic.
Those were good. Yeah, no, I think they did a really good job. Our media department was on point here. Shout out. I love the Charger thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one.
I like the Houston Texan one where they was trying to throw the ring on the bullhorn and then
Or he just kicked it.
just kicked the shit out of it. I liked it.
I like how they said that John Spytek was talking to Tom Brady, and they were both walking in the
But
building.
it was a
and then it
goat,
showed
yeah.
John Spytek walking to goat, talking to the goat. That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
Good
That was
job.
good.
Good job, department. I like it. I like more of that.
I mean, the Raiders are turning the corner. Like I've said, like ever since the offseason, they've been doing a lot of things right, and they're doing a lot of things right. Like I said, you win championships from the top down, not the player up, and they're doing a lot of great things from the top down, even down to the draft party. I mean, I know Raider fans that went to the draft party. I'm talking about season ticket holder, and they were like impressed. You know what I'm saying? Because they really set it out, and they didn't spare no expense, and it's kind of like they have a new attitude, and then so it starts with the attitude. So I'm really excited about what the Raiders are doing right now. I'm really excited because they're doing a lot of things right, even things that they don't have to do right that we're not even looking at. They're doing those things right, and I got to give it to Tom. I got to give a little bit to the Tom Brady effect. So yeah.
It feels like there is a thing happening here, and it's ever since Brady, took over. There's also rumors of Charles Woodson. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, he's like part owner of the Browns.
Really?
There's rumors that he's going to come over and do some front office stuff and sell that stuff. So we'll see. We shall see.
Did you guys happen to see the training camp footage where Pete Carroll's out there and he's doing the like little shuffle and he's like going up and down with the like players and stuff? Dude, I saw that and I'm like, man, just seeing Pete Carroll out there, he has his little gloves on, he's throwing the football, he's doing a little shimmy, and I'm like, man, just the way that he interacts with all the like players out there, that really got me juiced.
Man, you getting me juiced right now because I remember during the press conference when Gino was like, this guy, I'll run through a wall for him. And Pete said, I'll probably run through it first. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's Pete Carroll for you. That's the sauce I was talking about, man. Like this team will be motivated. They'll be fired up. They'll be ready to go. And, it's going to be a nice way to get things going. So I wanted to share the schedule with you guys real quick. So we just kind of take a look at it and we can do the schedule thing that we do. So hold on real quick. So my first impression was this is one of the better schedule situations we've had. So we start off week 1 in Foxborough against the Patriots. So Tom Brady gets that revenge game right off the bat, right out of the way. We was like, let's get that done. What are your thoughts? I think we win this game, and I'm looking for somebody.
With that Patriots game, I'm happy that it's happening before the winter time, so that way we don't gotta go out there, and play in the cold. So.
Yep.
So I mean, regardless of the weather, though, to be honest, I see us winning that game also as well.
What do you think, Black?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a winnable game for us. We're going to be excited coming out. This is on the road, right?
Yep. On the road.
So it gives us a opportunity to play with a chip on our shoulder and see what we really made of, because there's so many comparisons that we had with New England, especially being that we were dealing with McDummy, and then the indifference between the Tom Brady thing, which I've come to embrace. So now it's like that's kind of like a game that you kind of like circle a little bit. Maybe not like as far as playoff implications and all that other stuff, but it's a good launch point. You know what I'm saying? Because if we are able to come out and win that game and we look competitive and we come home the following week and we do what we do and we beat the Chargers or something like that, then we're starting off on a good foot. And it looks like how we started off, except for we're going to have staying power this year because the way our attitude is, we're not going to be all over the place. Our leader is competent, and that's not a knock to AP. He just was a rookie coach, and it just was a lot. And the Raiders organization is a lot. So this will be a good game for us. I see us winning this game as well, coming home to play the Chargers, who going to have a rude awakening that game too, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Patriots game, that is, starting off there. We all think it's going to be a win, right? We're going to see a theme about the weather here, right? And the cold weather games and when they occur. Okay. And then also, I'm going to look at a deeper dive into the other teams' schedule because that's important too. How many teams are we playing after a bye week, right? Or just a long week because they played Thursday and then they didn't play until the following Sunday after that or something, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to matter. The bye week is right dab in the middle, and then we get a Monday night football game for a home opener against the Chargers. So I will be there with bells on, and it's going to be interesting. Monday night football at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. We got the Harbaugh, Pete Carroll matchup right off the bat. The league is not playing, right?
Well, when the Raiders are good, the league is better. So and they anticipate us being better, and they showing us that by giving us Monday night games this year and like prime time games and stuff like that. Now we just need to deliver.
Right. Let's deliver. Let's play well. Let's get a victory. I think we win this game, guys.
Same here. I think it's going to be a close, tough fought battle, but it just being at home, Pete, and all, just the whole atmosphere, man. I really, really feel like something is different in a good way, and it's brewing and it's stirring right now. And I think we will also get the win also as well.
Shout out to the chat, Natural Born Raiders podcast. What is up? What's going on? What it do,
good, brother?
What's up, Dirty? So you can come through, Dirty. Just let me know if you want to come through. I'll say anything. But yeah, man, this is I think this is a win. So yeah, what you think, Blake?
Yeah, I think this is a win too. We gotta win. We gotta win our division games this year, and this is a game which is a good home opener for us too, because I don't see Charger fans taking over Allegiant.
There's only 5 Charger fans. They can't possibly.
So I feel like we're gonna have a more balanced, crowd, because that was one of the things that we did not have home field advantage because a lot of the teams would travel, and so this game I don't think that'll be an element, and it'll also inspire us because I think we're going to have more fans come out this year for us, and this will be a good game to lure them in, and it's an early division game, so
yeah, start off your home opener against a team that has already been here, so their fans don't have an incentive to come out, right? Just because they've never had a chance to come see the stadium. Working there, it's a big thing. And then, it's a division rival Monday night, right? So I think it's going to be pretty blacked out, right?
Yeah.
And, we happen to be, competing against a team that has, you can count their fans on one hand, I think. So we don't really have to worry about that at all. You know what I mean? If they can even find Vegas from where they're at. So sorry, Charger fans. But there's only 5 that I can offend, so I'm not really mad about it. So week 2, we have them 2-0. Okay. And then they've got to travel cross country. Week 3, play the Commanders and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Right. I have this as a loss, guys. It's a 10 a.m. game in DC. I know it's not cold, but Jaden Daniels is a lot. And I don't know if we want to chase, we're going to be able to chase him around. They went to the title game last year, guys. He was a rookie. Maybe it's a sophomore slump, but I don't know. His game seems pretty slump proof to me because he can just run by people, throw lasers. That kind of stuff usually kind of transcends slumps. So I have it as a loss. What do you say, Mr. Western?
I agree. I don't see us winning that game also as well. There's a reason why, they went that deep into the playoffs last year. And Jaden Daniels is definitely, an X factor there. And he is the head of the dragon, on that team. That dragon is too big to slay for us. I'm going to be honest. And they're good on both sides of the ball too, and yeah. And just like how you said, it's an early game. It's in Washington. Not even bringing the weather into factor here because I know, like how you just said, it won't be cold, but still, it's I just don't see us winning that game.
What do you think, Black?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder because they were right there last year, and sophomore slump is a real thing. But I think this kid is special. I think that organization is special right now, So we got all the factors against us. The Raiders usually don't play well on the East Coast early game. Last year, we were competitive in those games. I will say that, though. We did look a little better. We were competitive. So I think this would be a much better game than like a lot of people looking at it will say. I do believe we won't win this game, but God forbid we win this game.
I know.
Yeah, the chatter would be crazy.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to score points, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they're going to put up 30.
It might be 42-35 or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we all have that as a loss, so 2-1, and we come back home to face another young, stellar quarterback from the same draft, the number 1 pick in that draft, and Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. They have improved the weapons around him greatly. He's in his 2nd season. He didn't play poorly last year, but he didn't play like Jaden Daniels. So, home game, Bears. I got us with the victory here. What say you, Wester?
I thought about that game, long and thoroughly, right? And I don't know, man. I'm speaking with all honesty here, and I don't think we're going to win that game. They just like how you just said, they made a lot of changes and added a lot of new pieces. They got a new coach in Ben Johnson, but I think Caleb is gonna do a lot better this season, and I think it's gonna be a tough fought game for us, but ultimately at the end I don't see us winning that game.
All right. So we're split so far. Break the tie. Let us know.
Right. This is a tough one because, these are the type of teams that we play down to the level that they're at. And I don't know if they're going to know where they're at yet because it's earlier in the season. I'm happy that we're playing them earlier in the season because maybe Ben Johnson won't have a leash on the team yet. And then we can just out-compete them because I don't think that they're just a better team than us. I think what would make them better than us is maybe the coaching, but then we kind of offset that with our coaching. So I got this game really close. Like my heart is saying it's torn on this, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders with the win on this one, just because we're playing them earlier in his tenure, Ben Johnson's. So I'm gonna give the Raiders the win on that. But then I would have to say they're gonna lose next week to the Colts, and I think they're gonna beat the Colts. So they probably are gonna lose that game. But I'm rooting for us to win that game, but we're probably going to lose it. So I don't know if I broke the tie with that. I hedged my bet. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to say we're going to win.
Okay, fair enough. So we have a slight lean towards a win against the Bears in week 4, which makes sense. So it's tenuous. This is a tough game to call, but I do think we win this game. I don't have as much confidence in Ben Johnson as a coach as some other people do. I have been on that train since the beginning. I was a little concerned with his lack of, higher level professional coaching experience. The man has never been a head coach. He's never been an assistant head coach. He was only a coordinator for 2 seasons. I know he did some magical things in Detroit, but they also had some magical players in Detroit. So we shall see. We shall see. But I think Pete Carroll's a better coach. And I think we have the better coach and quarterback in this game. So I'm going to go with us. And that's the same reason I'm picking us to win on the road against the Colts the next week. Who is the...
Yeah, that's really simple for me. We're gonna win that game. I just think we're better overall in all aspects than the Colts right now. So I have us also.
Better coach, better quarterback, better number 1 receiver, better running back, better pass rushers, better. We need to win this game, and so I think we win the game. But yeah, what's your thought, boy?
Yeah, I got us winning this game as well. It's not really a head scratcher for me. This is a team that we better win against. Right. You know what I mean? Like we gotta win. These are the games that we gotta win. You know what I'm saying? Because our schedule is full of teams like this because of how tough our schedule was last year and our record. So we have a lot of teams that are markers for us to know where we are at as a team. Are we above the 500 mark? Or are we below the 500 mark? And the Colts aren't above 500 type team, so that's the team that we need to beat. So I got us winning that game.
Yep. So
yeah. And hold on, I just got to give a timeout here. Let me give a shout out to Raider Ryan, who's in the building.
What's that, Raider Ryan?
What up,
my man? Always good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing great, man. Thank you for tuning in.
Raider Ryan, we are back. We are back, baby. So Raider Ryan says he believes 11-5, 5-2 at the bye, and he's a dreamer. Well,
yeah, I'm glad you put that part.
Yeah, I'm a dreamer. Listen, this is a whole new era, Ryan. We get to believe now. Okay, Pete Carroll is different. Okay, it's different.
Yeah,
we haven't had a head coach this good since John Madden.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Don't do Chucky like that.
Listen, I like Gruden.
Don't do Chucky like that.
You skip Tom Flores.
Flores got it. We got to. I'm not saying Flores, but he ain't Pete Carroll.
Right. Right. He said he cool, but he ain't Pete Carroll.
He ain't Pete Carroll, bro.
Well, I mean, like, she cute, but she ain't Rihanna. Like,
so what you gonna say? But I think that we're gonna slide right into this October 12th game against the Titans, and I think that is another win. I like the fact that the game against the Titans and the Colts is not backed up by a game we would look forward to, right? So I think we win that Colts game without having to worry. And then, I don't think you can trap game a team 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, we should be ready for the Titans. We get a full week.
Yep, I agree.
Full week. So what do you guys think? Is everybody in agreement that that's probably a win?
Well, see,
Yeah, Cam Ward can't do it by
Mhm.
himself. He needs more weapons over there, and I just
Maybe you
don't
can
see
throw
it
to Will Levis. I don't know.
well, so the thing for me is this: like going into the Chargers game, I believe the Raiders will be 4-2, and so if they beat the Bears, that means they're going to lose to the Titans, or they're going to lose to the Bears and beat the Titans. That's how I think that's kind of how that's going to play. Because going 4-2 into the Chargers game is going to be like, okay, we got confidence. Even if we're 3-3, then we feel like we're competing, right? If we're 3-3, then I feel like we got to win against the Chiefs. But I don't. Well, that's our next prediction. But if we're 3-3, I don't think we'll beat. I don't know that first game playing at Arrowhead is going to be tough, and I think we probably lose that game. But I think going into that game we'll be 4-2, and so going into the bye, we're going to be above 500, and then we're still fighting. It's not like, oh, we're 5-2 now we're a playoff team, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to start hollering we're a playoff team, and then we're going to start overrating ourselves. And so I just think we'll go 4-2. So it's interchangeable for me between the Bears game and the Titans game. Who's going to win?
Okay. Yeah. Let me know what time, bro, and I will try to pull up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man. Okay. Yeah. No, I got us winning that game. I got us 5-1. I don't care.
Okay.
I got us 5-1.
Okay, make me. I wouldn't mind being wrong.
I think the way the schedule sets up here, that's what's gonna happen, and everybody's gonna get hyped up, and then we're gonna travel across the country. We're gonna play the Chiefs, and we will go ahead and beat the Chiefs.
Man, we beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead to go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we do that, we're definitely going to the playoffs then. See, even I did it. Even I did it. Like I said, we were to go in there and win that game, and we got a good record, we're gonna automatically think playoffs. But hey, we beat the Chiefs and go 6-1 into the bye. We better go to the playoffs.
So, that's how it's lining up to me. I think we're gonna be 6-1.
Okay,
Western, what you think?
I don't think we're going to beat the Chiefs.
Good old Western.
I think with Pete Carroll, we're going to play with heart and pride, and roll to the wheels fall off. But I think we're going to come up short against the Chiefs that day.
Okay.
Shoot.
I think Patrick Mahomes is starting to. Just saying. Anyway, Black, what you got?
Yeah. Well, with the Chiefs game, I got us losing that. I got us losing that game. I just have us losing that game. I think we'll be able to beat them one time this year. I'm more prone to think we'll beat them on the road than at home, but I don't know if we can pull it off. But shoot, you never know. Pete Carroll might have them out there, playing with their hair on fire, and the Chiefs get caught off guard, because we definitely draft to play the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure we got this game circled for real on our schedule. So, I mean, we could do it. Yeah. That could be an X factor, because if we can control the game and keep Mahomes off the field and compete, then the Chiefs are not going to look like they're not going to look like the world beaters that they are. Not to mention, Kansas City do start off slow traditionally.
Better to play them earlier, right?
Yeah.
So
we all saw the Raiders schedule release video. And do you remember what they showed with us playing the Chiefs? They showed yellow flags.
Hey, that was hilarious.
That was good.
So I also think that's going to
No,
be,
tell me.
a big factor in that game too, also as well, which makes me lean towards that winning that game.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like this team has something for the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs are starting to fall off just a little bit.
They are.
And I
falling
think
off
it's
a little bit.
enough. I think it's enough that we can do some pretty cool stuff, right? So I'm just going with what I feel is going to happen. We're going to win that game, right? And then we're going to go into the bye, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, this team is amazing," right?
Right.
And we're going to win Super Bowl, and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, we got a whole another half of the season left," and people will be like, "You're being a worrywart." After I was the guy who said we was gonna go 6-1, so
Right.
then we're gonna come out and we're gonna play the Jags at home.
Ooh.
On your birthday, my boy Black.
I gotta go see my boy Travis. You know, Travis gonna come out to Legion Stadium.
That's right. Come out and have a good time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to step out there and come to the game on that one. I do want to see Travis Hunter play. I don't want him to win. And you know, and if y'all don't know, like the Jags is like the team that I watch to be like, okay, this is a sleeper team that a lot of people are not really confident on. And then after the season they had last year, I went on a record to say that they'll be in the playoffs again within like 2 years. Like, so this is going to be a tough game for us. I hope we don't come out flat this game. That game is at home, so that helps us. And I got us winning that game.
All right, yeah. It's at home after a bye week, so we get an extra week to prepare. Go ahead, Weston, what you think?
Duval.
Oh, what they say, Raiders.
We're definitely gonna win that game. I just feel like we're gonna win that game. We're coming off a rest, and I don't see Jacksonville. I mean, I understand, Travis Hunter and all that, but he can't do it himself. And sunshine is up and down, so it might be a cloudy day for sunshine that day. It's gonna be rated, black for him. So I just see us getting the victory in that game.
So, victory all around, right? Yeah.
What up, Airsoft dude?
Oh, shit. Raiders. Let's go. So, yeah, I think we won that game for sure. And then it's going to be a fever. I mean, we'll be 7-1.
Come on, man.
We just came out of the bye. We going Monday Night Football against the Broncos on the road, and we going to lose.
Right. And in a game that we should have won.
Yes, it's gonna be something stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
And this magical Bronco quarterback, gonna do something dumb, throw it up behind his back. I don't know, something stupid.
Right.
And we're gonna lose that stupid game against the Broncos, and we'll be 7-2. That's what I got. What you got, Western?
I agree. Denver, they're a good team, and as much as I hate saying that, being a Raider fan and they're our rival, they're a good team, and I absolutely agree with what you're saying, especially when we're playing in Denver. If we were playing at home, it maybe alter my outlook of that game, but I also agree. Bo Nix, man, he's gonna do some stuff, and their defense is tremendous, and I think they're gonna beat us. They ain't gonna put a stopping on us, but I can see him winning by 10.
Dang.
See, I got him winning on like a last minute field goal or some stupid heartbreaking.
Yeah, me too. I don't have us winning that game either. I have us losing that game. Yeah, like you said, just because of some stupid, because it's the Raiders and the Broncos. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a division game. Anything goes. So I think we probably just would drop the ball on that game. I don't think Denver is that good. I think we should be able to whoop them twice, but excuse me, it usually don't work out like that. So I'm gonna go with them to lose this game as well.
Okay. Well, we got everybody thinking we're losing this game, except for that airsoft dude. He said we sweeping the Broncos. Okay, so I feel you on that. So I think we're gonna be 7-2, even though
I like the confidence you have, Airsoft,
Yeah.
dude.
I like it. So yeah, I think we lose that Bronco game, and can't win them all unless you're the 72 Dolphins.
Right?
But then we get November 17th, Monday Night Football with the Dallas Cowboys. First time they will be in Allegiant Stadium, and they do travel. So we need to make a statement here. I think that at 7-2, we should black the stadium out and force Cowboy fans to pay ridiculous amounts just to, get standing room only and bad seats. I'll put them all behind something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right, put a screen up. I don't know. Something block their vision. And then, Monday Night Football in Allegiant Stadium again, twice, one season. Let's go. Yeah. I got us winning this game. I think we come off that Bronco loss bitter and we win. And the fever pitch is back. And, everybody's like, Brady's magical and Pete Carroll's a genius. And, oh my God, Chip Kelly is God. Like, as a offensive coordinator. 8-1. That's what I said.
That man said 8-1. Boy.
That's what I said. It's an offensive league, folks. Go look at our skill players and who we have throwing the football to them and who's running football. And then go look at how the offensive line played at the end of last year and you tell me what's going to happen.
Yeah, I got us slapping Dallas. I think probably gonna be like 6-4 when they play this game. Like they're going the wrong direction, and I don't see nothing that they've done that made me feel like that they're like better than us like that. Like I think they got big troubles in little Dallas or big Dallas.
Big trouble in Little Dallas. I like that.
Little D.
Yeah, so I think they got issues. So I don't got them beating us.
All right, Western, what you got?
The big factor on that game is Dak Prescott going to be healthy that game? Is he going to be starting that game? When you have CeeDee Lamb, he ain't no slouch, and they're getting
Pickens as well.
They're getting players back, on the defensive side of the ball, young running back group. I have us losing that game.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going with my formula. We have the better head coach. I believe we have the better quarterback and the better running back room. So I'm going to say we win that game. I don't think there's a huge disparity on defense either. So there you go. That's my 2 cents after I already paid $1 earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I pay $1 too if I want to. So next one is against Cleveland, and that's going to be in Las Vegas.
That's a
Wait,
win.
hold on. Is there anybody that plays for Cleveland?
I'm probably got to double back to Allegiant to come to that game because I got to see my baby boy play because it's gonna be like week. What's that week like 11 or something? He gonna be playing. He definitely gonna be starting by the end.
Week 12.
Yeah, week 12. Shador gonna be starting by the end. And do we win that game? I'm gonna say if Shador quarterbacks, no, we don't win that game. Shador gonna throw for 3 touchdowns. Then he'll be a thing after that game because you know how we do for quarterbacks. I mean, we always got to put somebody on the map, and why not put that? Why not put him on the map? So I got us messing around losing that game.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but I got to lose that.
Lester, thoughts?
To me, as much as I like Shador Sanders, I'm a fan of Sanders. He ain't gonna do it in that game. He needs more help around him. The Browns had a good draft. I'll give them that. And they made some trades and all that stuff. But I just don't see them having enough to get the job done in this game, which is why we'll come out winning that game.
Guys, Shador Sanders will be in the game, but it'll be because he's on the Raiders roster.
Don't start that. Don't start that. I mean,
I think they have a better chance of trading Dylan Gabriel.
They're not trading anybody. They're going to cut him. He's the fourth quarterback on the roster right now. He's not going to get any snaps.
And Sanders is. I think he's going to start over Gabriel. That's just me.
Really?
But
I don't know, man. I think once somebody shows you that they are shows you who they are, right? The league is just, we know what this is. Come on.
Yeah, but I think the humbling ritual is over for now, for the time being, because it got its desired effect, was like to dim the light of Sanders' name, and I'm not saying they should, I can see both sides of it. So I would, if Joe Flacco wasn't on the roster, I would agree that he would start week 1. But they're going to definitely go with Joe Flacco. He just ain't going to stand up. He's not going to give you 10 games. He's just not. So
I agree with exactly what you're saying. I believe that Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for them going into the season, but I don't think he's going to be, healthy for that long either. That's why I think once Flacco gets hurt and he has to sit out, that's where Sanders is going to take over. He's going to awe the team and woo them, and he's going to take over that starting job.
Okay. All right. I think Shador Sanders is the 4th quarterback going into camp. I think he's not going to get enough snaps to do anything significant to take that job. I think he's the 2nd quarterback drafted by that team. And the first one was drafted not 1 round, but 2 rounds ahead of him. And I think he's going to get cut.
Sanders?
Yes.
That's a bold take. I like it.
And I think that he's going to end up back with Brady.
Oh, no.
That's
I heard Brady say that he told Shador that he gave him the I wasn't highly, touted speech and make the best of your situation because I wasn't in the best situation. Because you gotta admit, I mean, like the Patriots wasn't good at that time. You know what I mean?
Well, it wasn't a good spot for him. He was behind Drew Bledsoe.
And that too. So he did definitely have all the chips against him. So he gave him that speech. So if he give him that speech, I think the Raiders just not gonna go after him, because I think that if they wanted him, they could have got him. And I don't see them releasing Shador. Because I think a lot of teams would be. I don't see that, but it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Because if he don't get the snaps, that's going to tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to give snaps between Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, right, and then also Shador?
You can't.
That's like not even possible. Shout out to Clarissa. What's up?
What's up?
Thank you for coming through. Thank you. But yeah, no, I mean, you can't get snaps to all those players. How many snaps does a QB4 get in camp? Just
the QB4 don't get no snaps, and QB3 is the scout team quarterback.
Right. So you don't even get scout snaps, right? He's fighting for scout team snaps, guys. It's just reality, you know? So people said he couldn't possibly fall out of the second round, right? So when he gets cut, just come on back here. Remember what I said. Okay.
We got one person saying he's starting week 1 and another person saying he's gonna get waived.
Yes. So that'll be interesting. Me and Dirty gonna have to talk about that one. I don't know. I don't see me not making the roster, bro. Because we know what this is. It's not over yet.
Right. I think they're gonna stall Debo out though for a little while.
Just make him stay there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he already at the quarterback mortuary, so they just gonna let him just like rot
stay
out.
in the.
Let him stay in there.
Quarterback's going to die, right? So if you want him to die, he's already there.
Yeah, he's already there.
Yeah. Well,
that's gonna be interesting though.
That's just my interesting take. Something tells me.
That's a bold take, though. I like it.
Yeah. Thank you. And why didn't we draft him? Because Brady knew what exactly was going to happen. That's why. Why would you draft somebody you can get? Why you buy the cow to get the milk for free? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So,
Pizzle, my nizzle.
What's up, Pizzle? We can come through. So we have. Oh, now we're on to the second Charger game. This one on the road. Since we are the team in that game that actually won a Super Bowl in Los Angeles. It's LA. It's once again, I think we have the better coach and quarterback.
And running back. Ahead.
And running back, right? Uh-huh. I think we win this game, guys. I think we win this game.
I agree. That's also a victory for me and my books also as well.
Stars.
Yeah, why can't you send stars? I wonder why.
I don't know.
Oh, because you don't have your page on content creator.
Oh no, I'm a person. Yeah.
Oh, you need to turn yours to content creator, and you can get stars.
See, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I should have known that my cousin be on them stars. Shout out to Crystal. Okay. So, victory. Is that what we got here?
What with Cleveland? Oh, the Chargers.
Yeah, you got a victory there. Or what you got?
So let me see. Did I have us beating the Chargers the first game? Yeah. So I have us splitting with the Chargers.
Okay. So that's an L.
So yeah. Dang, I got us losing like 2 games in a row. Yeah.
Okay. So Pete Carroll, according to you, is on a 2-game skid.
Right. And that's why we're gonna beat the shit out of Denver at home.
So we on like according to me, like we on some other right now, boy. Like people is flipping out. All right, we already got double-digit wins. Just saying.
The delusion is gonna be real, boy.
People gonna be like, oh, Tannen, we're winning the Super Bowl. Clue, we're not.
Right, not yet.
We'll be
So I
looking.
got us. So yeah, I got. We all got. We. Oh, so I have us losing that Charger game. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So Charger game, we got a loss. The other two of us got a win. Me and Western think that's a win, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then next week we travel on over to play them Coes again. Them Coes. So I had us losing this game. This is the loss that I predicted in week 10.
To the Eagles?
No, in week 10 I had us losing to the Broncos.
I mean the Broncos, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we redeem ourselves at home against the Broncos here and win this game. And there we go. That's what I got.
I got us winning that Bronco game too, though. We definitely gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them up that game.
I think it's gonna be a close game, guys. But I think
I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think home field advantage is a key factor in that game, and I think we're gonna win. It will be a close game, very very close game, scrappy game, but we're gonna win.
Yeah, and I think Legion's gonna be nuts at this time. We will have earned the reputation of being one of the louder stadiums in the NFL. By then, I've seen the decibels; it can be very loud in that stadium, very loud. So yeah, I think we win that Broncos game, and I think then we go on the road the next week to play the Philadelphia Eagles, defending football champions of the world.
That's a loss.
Black.
Well, we playing them. Yeah, that's gonna be a loss right there, man.
That's an L.
But it'll be a good barometer for us at that point in the season because it's almost the end of the season. If our record is saying what it is, we will be in the playoffs. That'll be a good playoff level game. Then we'll play another playoff level game the following week. So basically, we'll be playing 1, 2, 3 playoff level games in 4 weeks, and that'll get us ready for the playoffs. Although we lose that game, I think it's a good character building game for us to come in the following week.
Okay. Well, Lester, thoughts?
I against the Eagles.
Oh yeah, you got the Eagles.
Yeah, it's a loss.
He jumped out the window first.
Yeah, he was like, "Lost." I was like,
Yeah.
I think he's sure about that one.
And then we gotta travel all the way back home and then go play in Houston. So, but I think we're gonna beat Houston though.
I got that as a loss, guys. So yeah,
I also have that game as a loss as well.
I think the back-to-back road games, Houston, I think that we have something like 10 or 11 wins already at this point. And yeah, I think that we just don't have it to win that game. I think we lose that game. So Black's got us one in there, and then we've got the Giants at home. So we finished with 2 home games, guys. Giants at home. That's a win for me. Who are the Giants? Oh wait, who's their? Is their quarterback Russell Wilson? Right, it's Russell Wilson, huh?
Sierra Wilson.
It's Mr. Unlimited.
There was something.
Mr. Unlimited.
Carroll used to coach him and knows him backwards and forwards and underneath and everything, and probably mind games, and we win that game. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Black, what you got?
Okay, I was trying to see my final record. I got us going 10-6 or 10-6 or 11-5, but I got us beating Houston, and then I got us beating New York too.
Okay.
I got us beating New York. I mean, by that time, they're gonna lose so many games. By that time, he's gonna be Mr. Emotional at that point because they're gonna be trying to run him out. They're gonna be trying to run him out the league, out of New York. You know, New York is kind of is a finicky market, you know, and he's low hanging fruit, especially if he come out with a slogan, you know.
Please. Okay, Russell, if you're watching, please just me and you. Everybody else just kind of don't stop. I'm just talking to Russell Wilson. Okay? Russell, you have to stop making stupid quotes. Just don't talk to the camera at all for a while. Your wife is very pretty. Just let her do all of the stuff with the talking, because you're not good at that part. I know it feels like you are,
right?
But you're not. Please.
He said, "I know it feels like you are, but it's not."
All right, y'all can come back now. It's cool.
Let's ride.
Mr. Unlimited. So,
yeah, we end the season at home against them Chiefs. I have us 12-5 at the start of this game. And depending on what's happening, I'm going to predict that we lose this game because we rest our starters against the Chiefs in the
we
final.
better not.
Because we have nothing to win. Division is already locked up. Our seating is already set. And we just ain't got no time for the Chiefs. They're not important enough. So
I think the opposite. I think the Chiefs aren't. They're already going to be on cruise mode. The Raiders going to be on go mode, and we're going to beat them. And the Chiefs are not going to take that game really, really serious. So I think we're going to win that game. And it might help us in our seedings in the playoffs. But overall, I say we go 10. I say 11-6. I'll be wrong a little bit one time, so I'm gonna go 10-5. 10-7.
10-7. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have us going 12-5. What say you about this game, Lester?
You know what? Hearing both from what you guys are, saying, right? So both your guys' answers are like conjoined in my, thoughts. With Black saying exactly what I was thinking, to where the Chiefs will already be in a playoff spot, and they're going to be, resting, guys, and we'll get the victory. Then there's also the other aspect of maybe the Chiefs are going to try to fight for that number 1 seed, and they have their guys in still, and then they're going to play us. So at first, originally, I did have us winning this game, but I'm going to say that we're going to lose this game also as well. I don't think we beat the Chiefs at all this season. That's just me being honest.
All right. There you go.
Do you think the Chiefs are going to be better this year than they were last year?
It's not really that where my mind's at. It's just, I just think that, they're like, we're not far behind the Chiefs, but they're still ahead of us, and we're almost there to them. We're just not there yet.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. Man, okay. So Western has a swept by the Chiefs. Western, what was the final record that you had it?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, sorry, my writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 and 8.
9 and 8.
That is what I have us at.
Well, we better win that Chiefs game then. Because that's what's going to get us in the playoffs. So we're not going to get in the playoffs with 9 wins in our division.
Trust me, I would love for us, to just say, hey, we're going to steamroll everybody. We're going to cream them. We're going to have an air raid offense. We're going to break the passing touchdown records. all that stuff, right? But so where I'm coming from this season, I'm being as realistic as possible. I mean last season, I said that we would win 10 games minimum because I was thinking, I was thinking with Raider bias, you know what I mean? And I want to be completely honest to where I'm picking these games here. And that's just, I'm choosing with my full heart and soul, with these picks here. And uh I was too far fetched last season when I was reaching for the galaxy. So this season, I say that we'll win 9 games minimum. So
You got humbled. You got humbled last year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Like I didn't see us winning 10 games. I didn't see us winning 4 games, but so I overestimated our team too. But we didn't even really have a team last year. You just saw it was too many holes in our team for us to like really get 8 wins or something like that. So I wasn't really high on us like that. I probably poured a little bit more Raider bias in there this year than last year because of I think we really addressed some areas, especially being that we had a lot of gaps that we needed to fill. So realistically, I could see us winning 9 games for real, but I'm just gonna say 10 so we can get in.
Yep, gotcha. So yeah, I have us 12 wins. I'm going to, I'm going to predict these games based on the most important positions and players, and based on our situation at head coach and quarterback. I think there's going to be a vast improvement.
So I just got to say here, before we went live, I kind of went through, who we're playing on that, right? My Raider biasism picks was 12. It was 12, just like you. You know what I mean? It was, and then after really going, through it, I just trying to be as real as just in all honest. I'm trying to be completely honest with my picks here.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand where you're coming from. I think that what has me so bullish is what I've seen after being able to go back and look at some of the players we added in this offseason. Like, Geno Smith is better than you guys think.
Oh, I'm not doubting, Geno Smith at all. He's definitely talented. I just, it's just, I just feel like, we're in, some like, like the Chiefs games, I have picked, right. I just feel like, they're just ahead of us, and that's why they're going to get the win. And the other losses that I have too, I just feel like we're not going to be fully completely gelled yet, and I do have faith in Pete Carroll. I like right now he's doing amazing things, just being around the players, how the players interact with him. I just don't see him doing it all in one shot in one season. Now I'll completely eat my words if I'm wrong. But I will say that we will have more wins than losses this season, which is why I'm going to say we're going to win 9 games at the very least.
What gives me optimism though, because I'm with you on that on the realistically like, but if I do want to pour a shot of biasness in there, it's the fact that we have a composed coach with a competent, composed quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give those two people a running game, I think that gives us an advantage that's not measurable. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like when you have a new quarterback and you have a good tight end. You know the quarterback is going to probably play fairly decent, right? Because even look at our situation. We had two ass quarterbacks. I hate to say that about my boy Minshew Pichu, Bronson Minshew Pichu. I mean, I think he was
cheap now. Okay, so he could.
I think right. I thought I don't think he was ass, but let's say he was mediocre, right? The mere fact that we had a really, really good tight end made our quarterback room better than it really, really was, like for real. So when you have those kind of things like that, I see us really, really being able to tip the scale over the 500 mark as much more than at the 500 mark or under, because we're going to have a composed coach, a competent quarterback, we're going to have a running game, and we got a tight end. So with all those things together, I think Pete Carroll can pull out some things out his rabbits out his hat and do it for the one time. So if there is a season where we can think unrealistically like that, this might be the season. You know what I mean? This might be it. And that window is only going to be like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? In my
we have
opinion.
all this money the right way and that kind of stuff. Also,
sure.
like, I hear you, Western, for sure. Like, he didn't just go into Seattle and they automatically were a 12-win team. But this time, he shows up, he has a quarterback he already knows, likes, and has worked with, who's already better than what he had. And, a lot of stuff is kind of pre-made for him, right? Genty's here, right? Ashton Genty averaged more yards after contact than most running backs average per carry.
Man, he is a anvil, man. He is an anvil, man. Just running, man. That guy, is amazing to watch, and I'm so happy that we, have him, right. And then speaking on Jenny, I want to go back to Raider Ryan's comment here. So he says, if Jenny goes over 1,300 yards, I think 11-6 is possible. Keep me grounded, though, Western. You always keep it real. Pete Carroll is preparing the men for war. Max is going to get those boys flying. So I absolutely understand. Pete Carroll is going to get all our players firing on all cylinders. They're going to be running on not 12 cylinders. They're going to be running on 18 cylinders, full 97 octane, racing fuel, just jetting, you know what I mean? And and this is just me here. I believe Jenny is going to run over 1,000 yards. I just really think he is. And don't be shocked if he's going to win Rookie of the Year. And I know most of the time it goes to a quarterback, right? But I honestly feel like, think of the players that were drafted in the first round. You know what I mean? I think Jenny could have a more impact on our team than Cam Moore with the Titans, than Abdul Carter, than Travis Hunter. As much as I like Travis Hunter, I don't think he's going to, I ain't throwing shade at him, but
no, it's the position he played.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm tripping. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Travis is going to be the Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry. I'm tripping.
Travis Hunter? Really?
For sure. By a landslide.
Landslide. He's just going to kill it, huh?
Yeah.
I like him. I really like him, but, I just don't think he's going to beat out Genty if they were both in the pool, you know what I mean? Because I don't see Travis playing both sides of the ball as much as he did in college. I can see him being thrown in like different packages and stuff, right? But if he really going to break out as a wideout, and just come out and just start, just dazzling people, and so look, he's talented, right? And I'm sure he'll make some great catches and have some great games. But I don't think as in his first year he's gonna just come out, and just be like this.
He's gonna make a bunch of plays, right? But then you're gonna look at Genty's stats and be like, yeah, I mean, these are some cool plays, but Genty made some plays and he got like 1,400 yards. You know what I mean? Like,
but what's gonna offset that? The fact that Travis Hunter is playing both sides of the ball. The fact that he's going to be playing both sides of the ball. He's going to be a force multiplier on defense. All he needs to do is catch the ball like 3 times on offense. He don't need to line up every play. He don't need to line up every play on offense. He just needs to make like 3 catches, 3-4 catches and lock down defense. That's going to get you Rookie of the Year for sure, because we're going to be seeing something that we never seen before.
Oh, okay. Do you think he'll play corner or on defense more than offense? Okay. So you'll think he'll be rookie of the year by his defensive play and some of the
Offense,
offensive plays.
right?
He'll okay. Um,
I think
as
that'll put him over the top. Because if you was just
Mhm.
to match up him on defense versus Genty rushing for 1,300, you got to
Mhm.
go with the rookie running back with 1,300 yards, right? So
Right.
but the fact that, let's say Travis locked down on defense, 5-6 picks or whatever, on offense he get like 5-6 touchdowns or something, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it automatically, because they're gonna say he's a factor on both sides of the field. I mean, on both
Mhm.
sides of the ball. So I think that's what will give him the heads up, because it's going to be similar to like the Heisman
I was
chase.
just about to say that. I was just going to say
Yeah,
that. So I
I think.
completely understand with what you're saying. I completely get it. I just don't see that happening to where he's going to transition that absolute killer, play style he was doing in college, and it's going to just click for him that fast
Mhm.
in the NFL and on the Jaguars. Now he'll be good, but I don't think he's going to be great year one where he's going to be winning
Right.
rookie of the year.
As opposed to
That's just me.
Genty.
And then corner two, he's gonna be playing against some good wideouts too. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying he'll be getting burned or torched or all this stuff, but it's completely different, from college, and which is also why Genty has the advantage here if you really think about it, because he's playing the one position that he's known to like do, which I understand Travis is known, to like do both, but I just think it's a better transition for a college player to come in and
Yeah.
be a one focused player than
Mhm.
trying to wow on both sides of the ball at the same time. And then what if he gets hurt? You know what I mean? That's like say he's running out and he gets, I would wish no harm on him, but say he gets hit stick somewhere and he's
Mhm.
out, and he's not
yeah,
that swole either, so he definitely has to
yeah,
put weight on him too.
yeah. Because he did get injured in college. Colorado, not last year, but the year before that.
Mhm.
So he can get he if he does have to put on some muscle and all that. But I'm just saying, barring injury, I think that if we were talking any other year, I would totally agree with you. Any other year, I just
Mhm.
think this player, that Travis Hunter, is something that we haven't seen before in the likes of Dion. Not to say he's Dion, but what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, when we saw Dion when he played from Atlanta snap one, he was
Mhm.
him. He was
Right.
him. And I
Right.
think that's what's going to happen with Travis. Now,
Mhm.
as far as Genty with 1,300 yards, I think that's a stretch, right? I think it's possible, but what's going to make that possible? That he's got to have a comparable backup. And when the Raiders went out and got Mustard, I think that was good. So with that being said, I think that he will be able to get over 1,000, but I see him closer to like 1,150 to 1,200.
Okay. So I have
Right.
him going for over 1,600 yards,
I'm about to go. We going to the Super Bowl.
much like Zeke
Man.
Elliott did as a rookie. Zeke
Hey,
Elliott had 1,650 I think, some yards as a rookie in
that would
2016.
be beautiful, and I
I think
really
he can do
hope
something like
he does. But I'm
That's
just
10
saying,
touchdowns.
at the bare minimum, he's going to be 1,000-yard rusher. I
he's
pack it,
going to
seal
get
it, sign it,
touchdowns.
send it. That's guaranteed. 1,000-yard rusher for sure.
Put him on your fantasy team now.
Oh yeah.
Like, draft him. Can you draft him now? Draft him.
So, Black, do you think in the career long run that Travis Hunter will have a better career than Genty?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Well,
And let's just say
well,
that they both don't get injured, right? They're
yeah,
just healthy. They're
yeah.
just
I'm gonna say, yeah, Travis is gonna have a better career because Genty's playing with the Raiders.
Mm.
That's because I mean
Mm.
because if we're going to look at the totality of their careers, right, then you're going to have to boil it down to team success. And I think that, I don't even want to say that. I just think that Jacksonville got history, and Jacksonville got a better chance of getting a bowl before we do. Now, if I'm wrong, and this year or within this year or next year, the Raiders really flip it and they competitive, not Super Bowl champions all the time, but hella competitive all the time, then it's gonna be close. But I just think that Travis is just something we when people say generational player, they throw that word around. I think he's really a generational player, like for real, like from snap one, like Bowers. He's a generational player, and I think that's how Travis is gonna come in.
Yeah, I think, honestly, guys, like I really see, Genty, to me, like the players I comped him to were Zeke Elliott and LaDainian Tomlinson.
There's also people who said that he could be like Emmitt Smith too, man.
Give me LT.
Yeah, he feels like LT to me because of the catching ability too.
Well, I'm just saying, whoever he play like, I'd rather he play like LT.
Yeah, for sure. So I just gotta comment on what you were saying, about Jacksonville and the Raiders. Now, this is just me speaking. I feel like the Raiders have a better chance of obtaining a Super Bowl than Jacksonville does. Post Carroll too. I feel like Jacksonville has more holes to fill, and as much as good as Travis Hunter is, he can't do it all by himself. He just can't do it all by himself. That's just.
I just think they're better. I just think that Jacksonville is going to be better because, for one, they have a quarterback. Like I don't know if people don't think that Trevor Lawrence is a top tier quarterback. They don't know quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what was hurting them, because you do got to factor in the franchise. Jacksonville as a franchise too. It's not like they're a better franchise than the Raiders like that anyway. So I do get what you're saying. I just think that they went and got a running back too this year, and that's where they were really hurting, because ATN kind of hurt their offense. As good as he is, it limit their offense. And I think when they open up their offense, you'll be able to see more of what they are, because they've already been to the playoffs. They already got tasted, and I think they're going to get back to that. And it's going to be close. Who's going to have the better career? But I just think Travis is just something special, and I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but I just watched him play. I just watched him play every snap of his college career, and and he never disappoints. And even when he playing the Chase Lamar Chases and all the top tier wide receivers, they're gonna, like all top tier wide receivers, they're going to win some reps, but I think Travis is going to be right there with him. And it might take a couple years for him to, make that transition, like you say.
So as much as I like Travis Hunter, now once again, it's just me speaking, I feel like Jenny is more of a generational player than Travis is, and that's just me speaking from that. That's how I feel.
I think they're both amazing. I really do. I think they're both going to have amazing careers. I mean, who would you pick, to have a better career, LT or Dion, right? So I think what happens here is that, like, who wins more Super Bowls? Whose team has more success, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But there is an advantage that Travis Hunter plays, because corner and wide receiver are more valued right now than running back. Now, that may change over the next couple of years, but as of right now, the things he does are going to be more valued by the media and fans and things like that. So,
well, plus the shelf life of a running back too, also, right?
Shorter career, right. Travis Hunter will probably have more years to amaze us, right?
Yeah, because even if he has a off year, like as a running back, you're gauged at every year that you play, because your numbers go up, and the moment you peak out and they start going down, oh yeah, they about to draft a running back.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, I think he's the kind of special running back that obviously you're going to get 10 years out of him, right? Before you even have to start thinking about something else. Um, and then at that point, it's like, okay, where is he at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Travis Hunter, he's almost, unless something go wrong, it's guaranteed cool 12, right? Playing receiver or corner, right? And then we'll see what happens after that. He probably don't lose his speed for a while if you don't have the wrong injuries, right? So, but anyway, barring injury, I think they're both going to be very good players. I would have to say that Travis Hunter has an edge just because of what positions he plays, playing both sides, that sort of stuff, right? This year, though, I think the issue he's going to have is that he did get the Heisman, and people remember that.
For sure.
And so if it's close, I think there's going to be a pull to give it to Jenny. A lot of people feel like he should have got the Heisman instead.
But Travis Hunter, because he plays both sides of the ball, which I totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, if the Raiders get good enough, their record good enough to go to the playoffs, that's definitely going to push him up because they're going to be like, dang, they didn't have no running back last year, won 4 games, gave him a running back, and look at them now. So they're going to isolate it to the success, not to just Genty, but they're going to say he was a force multiplier. That's the word I'm using. So if he does do that, and Jacksonville look like regular, then yeah, Genty might get it. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
good question. Good question.
That's a very good question. Very, very good question. Okay. So another question I got for you guys: who's better this year between the Chargers and Broncos?
Broncos.
I'm gonna say Chargers because of the running back they drafted, man.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. I was going to ask you guys, how do you think we're going to line up in this division? Where are we going to fall in the division, and where are the other teams going to fall? Like, are the Chiefs going to? Are they a shoe in to win the division this year?
I think that either the Chiefs or us win a division. I think that we have a chance to win a division this year, guys. I think the Chiefs are going to take a little bit of a step back. Super Bowl loser. Patrick just don't look exactly the same anymore.
I'm not buying that.
They keep losing little players here and there. They trying to
fix it
the roster with something, and you don't hit that every time. You know what I'm saying?
They are Band-Aid. They are putting Band-Aid on their team, though.
Yeah, they like duct tape and shit now. And I'm like, I can see that's duct tape, bro. Like,
yeah, like that light year that they were ahead. Now they're only light minutes ahead. So
yeah, they're like just a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all it takes is this or that, and I think they're gonna have a little bit of a slump. And do not underestimate the power of Harbaugh to fuck it up more. Bosa's already gone.
By beating Kansas City,
he'll go ahead and lose to us both games.
Right.
Split with the Broncos and sweep the Chiefs. That's something he'll do.
Yeah.
But no, I think there's going to be an issue with players exiting the team, a continued feeling of like mutiny starting to build. And by year 4, it'll be full blown. But year 2, so I think by the end of the season, the media darling stuff will start to fade away again, and people will remember why he was kind of ran out of San Francisco. That's my opinion. So I think that the Chargers will finish at the bottom of the division this year. I think that the Chiefs will finish second, and the Broncos will be right on their heels. But I think the worst team in our division is probably going to win 6 or 7 games. So it's going to be a tough division. I think it'll probably be the best division in football. That's my opinion. And I think it'll be tight between us and the Chiefs and even the Broncos, like kind of all right there to figure out what's going to happen. But I think by the time we get to that Chiefs game, the Chiefs won't have a chance to win 12 games, and the Broncos won't either. So that's my opinion.
So the way that I see it, I have the Chiefs still, on top, but not by far. We're second. Then the same bottom order as you, just opposite. I have Broncos last and then Chargers third.
Okay. What you got, Black? How do you think this stacks out? Like the final stack?
I think it's going to be the Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we both think we're finishing top 2 in the division, and then it's just
Because Chiefs are going to win 11 games.
10, 11 games. That's what I think. I don't think they're winning 12 again or something like that. And I think that we can win 12.
Yeah, because they almost lost a lot of games last year. So
And so that
you can only do that so long. You can only do that so long. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, odds, regression to the mean, close games. You're not going to win close games like that every year.
Especially the following year. Those games that you was squeaked out the year before, teams closed that gap the following year for sure.
Mm-hmm. We have some of that karma on our side too. We lost a lot of close games last year, guys. So, and Pete Carroll's good in close games. So I think that's how we change and put a crooked number up in front of everything. Okay. Yeah. So, who was the running back that the Chargers picked up?
Marion Hampton.
I know he looking like a statue already. Like, he was a big guy, wasn't he?
He is. He's a big guy. He could run back. He's good. He's just not Genty.
I absolutely agree.
You know what I mean? He's very, very good. But it ain't Halle Berry. Yeah, Halle Berry. Oh, my boy is here. What's up, BBZ?
What's up with it?
Gang.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate
That's
that
right.
comment.
I believe that. We're back, guys. So we'll be doing this more often. We're gonna take a little break. Had to move the studio.
It's the off season. We have to take a little time for ourselves. It's the off season.
I got things I got to do. I had to write science paper and all kinds of stuff. So stuff happens. But we are back, and I think we might even be around on Monday, so we can kind of talk about it again.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we bring this wagon train home?
Yeah. My thoughts are, go look at our offense. Dante Thornton Jr., Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Ashton Genty, Geno Smith, Jacoby Myers. We have the kind of offense that can do the things you need to do to score points and beat teams like the Chiefs. You win your division first, and then you worry about everything else. It just so happens that the team in our division, if we're beating them, there's not much else to worry about.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's the good part. It's more simple. The hard part is actually beating them. So I just feel like we're doing this. I feel like we have the mojo in the right direction, and it is just so important to have a head coach, football decision making and quarterback all in line that are professional, and that is happening, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so I expect a huge difference. That's my final thought.
I absolutely agree. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. So my final thoughts, aside from agreeing with what you're saying, I've said this multiple times, but something really is different about this season. It really feels like something special is happening, and it's I just can't wait for a preseason to start and just to see Pete Carroll on the sideline chewing that gum, dapping up players.
Mm-hmm.
Geno dropping back, seeing just our full roster, on a full
that
showcase.
Preseason game, the first preseason game is in Seattle against the Seahawks. I
That is,
might.
oh yeah, you're gonna make a
Travel.
special guest appearance.
Just to, go see my boy. Last time I was there, Josh Jacobs walked off. That's all I got to say.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
So,
So
um,
so there's one player that I did want to talk about who's definitely under the radar with most Raider fans. I'm not saying you guys in general here on the panel, but there's an undrafted free agent rookie who we got. His name is Hodge Malik Williams from UNLV. I really like this kid, and I know he's an undrafted free agent. And I know there's a lot of people. Well, that's why he's an undrafted free agent. Yada yada yada. But just watch the film of that kid. Watch his speed. Watch his arm. I'm really high on that kid, and something tells me, that he could make the roster. He could make the roster. And I don't know. I'm just really high on that player. So to all the Raider fans out there watching, if you don't know who this player is, Hodge Malik Williams, please check him out when you have the time. I definitely enjoyed watching his game, and I'm happy that he is a part of our squad.
Let's go.
Quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback.
So is he better than AOC?
AOC is a better accurate thrower. I got to say that. As much as but the difference with Hodge though, he's not a statue. This is the opposite of a statue. He is a Ferrari. He is a Ferrari.
Him and Cam Miller, who was also interesting as a North Dakota State, who's now just like quarterback university, obviously. So I think it's going to be interesting that battle between those two, right? To see, who ends up being scout, something, emergency practice, squatty, whatever. It will also be interesting if my prediction comes true and Shedeur does not make the team for the Browns.
Hey, that would be tremendous because, I'll be honest here. When Shedeur was getting passed up by all the other teams and when he kept falling to us, in the later rounds, I myself was like, okay, this has got to be it. This has got to be it here, come on. But we didn't get him, but, I can't fault our front office for like not making the move because honestly, as much as Tom Brady, and it's just me speaking honestly here, as much as Tom Brady was saying, I didn't have, that much play and pull, there had to be something that they've seen which deterred them from not getting him sooner and why he slid so far. That's just how I feel about it. But I definitely was one of the ones.
Brady knew he was in the doghouse. That's why.
And and if you really think, about it too, I love Deion. I love him as a coach, off the field. He is a great, he is a legend, you know what I mean? But when you draft Shedeur, you also got to deal, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Deion's always going to be in the back too. Deion's always going to be there in the back, and he's going to want what's best for his son. And I don't see Sanders sitting or being, benched on the depth chart for very long. He wants his son to start. And I just found that it was quite ironic how they didn't want him to go to Cleveland, but then Cleveland swung back around multiple times and they drafted him.
Right. So I think he still feels the same way about Cleveland. Cleveland, I don't even think their coaching staff wanted him. I think that was the ownership picking Shedeur Sanders. Go look at the tape of what they look like when the pick is announced.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I seen some faces were kind of like, and then there were some like high fives, and then some were like kind of like, you know what I mean? It was. Yeah.
GM and coach was like,
well, I'd be like that too if we just drafted a quarterback and then we went and got him. I'd have been like, what are we doing?
Right. So who made that pick?
Yeah. And then what made y'all pick him over Shedeur first? Like, dang, like.
Well, I mean, reports out of the Brown training camp is that all the players really like playing with Sanders. They feel like they have a more chemistry and a bond with him than Dylan Gabriel. Just from what I've read and seen. So
yeah, me, I seen that too. But I'm just saying, what made them draft Gabriel before Shador, though. That's what I'm
See,
saying.
so that
Like,
also tells you what. So really, there's two ways. They didn't want to deal with the baggage and the drama. You know, like I'm speaking honestly here, or they saw that Dylan Gabriel was just a straight up better quarterback. That's the two ways that it could have went.
Well, if they didn't want to deal with the baggage and the drama, they probably shouldn't have drafted that quarterback 2 rounds later anyway.
right.
Yeah, but I don't think that they'll get that much, fire beneath it because it's slid so far, and it's like one of those where it's like, okay, we got to get him now. We got to get him. He's fallen in our lap multiple times. That's just how I see it.
I think they're going to give him very little snaps and cut him. But yeah, that's what I think's happening.
Bold take, brother.
I hear you, VBZ, but listen, there's 2 eventualities here. Mix between Mahomes and Goff. Interesting. There's some of that. I can see that. Either he ends up getting cut and we don't pick him up, which means Brady don't like it. Okay. Or he gets cut and we do pick him up. I think that's the only 2 possibilities. I don't see how in the world a 4th-string quarterback who's already like on the outs with the management, who was the 2nd quarterback drafted by that team, makes the roster.
So real fast before I go, because I've got a jet out of here. I just have to say, I spoke to A-Train. A-Train, if you're watching this, I spoke to him on the phone, and he's saying the same thing that you said, hot, but it was opposite. He believes that they're going to keep Sanders and cut Gabriel. Now his dream, well, not dream, but he was saying, he's like, yeah, they're going to keep Sanders, and what if it just happens, bro, that they let go of Dylan Gabriel and we get him, So that was his take on that, and then you're just saying, the same thing what he was saying, but it's opposite, just in reverse order. Now I'll just say, me honestly, before I go, I don't believe that they will cut Sanders because he's a box office ticket item. He's going to sell more tickets than Dylan Gabriel, and if I'm pretty sure like his jersey is like hot right now. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a big ticket mark for them to keep Sanders. But at the end of the day, if Sanders was cut, or if Gabriel was cut, and the Raiders were like, hey, let's grab Gabriel, let's grab Sanders, I'm all in for it.
Yeah, I just remember it's Cleveland, so they will mess it up.
Well, if they release a quarterback, I think a team like Pittsburgh gonna come in and snatch him up. Or
Pittsburgh has a worse record. We have waivers before Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So,
well, gentlemen,
we have a bad record, guys. So, yeah,
it's been a pleasure, you guys. I don't hate to pull the curtain down so early, but I really got to jam out here. I just want to say it's always a pleasure, to be on live with my compadres here. I'm glad that we're back. Thank you for all the people that were tuning in and watching. I appreciate you guys. So salute to all y'all. All you guys watching, have a wonderful rest of the evening, and to my 2 boys on here, you guys have a great rest of y'all evening too, also as well.
For sure.
Thank you. We'll see you again next time, man.
All right.
Well, peace.
Later, y'all. Thank you.
So yeah, let's get up on out of here. So I think we got it wrapped up. I think I said what I needed to say. Yeah, this Shador blackball and stuff. I mean, I didn't say that, but what happened to him was different. I'll just say that. I've never seen a quarterback character issue cause a quarterback to drop 5 rounds or 4 rounds in value.
Never.
That's different.
I've seen players commit felonies don't drop that far.
I've seen a player drag race with another player, and the other players died, and he got picked top 10. So, and a lot of our fans wish we picked him. Just saying.
So, yeah, I'm definitely the black ball is in effect, but I hope that they drew the line somewhere, you know. Like he's definitely supposed to be in the league.
I think, yeah, he's gonna be in the league, but this is the thing. I don't think he got drafted by Cleveland by accident. That's the team Dion said he didn't want to go to, and then they drafted him. I don't think that they're planning on being friends. I think that they're gonna diss him and cut him to finalize the whole lesson, and then it'll be up to waivers. And we had a bad record last year. There's not a lot of teams ahead of us that would even need to take a flyer on a quarterback. So maybe Brady's crazy like a fox.
Yeah, right.
Crazy like a fox. So thank everybody for coming out. For Beezy, for the show. Thanks for showing out.
Yes,
Everybody
yes.
in the chat, y'all are amazing, bro. Like I could just read chat and be educated. So that's
A1.
A1. And then yeah, let's keep it real. Try to be back here Monday, but y'all like I always say, man, like just stay positive. Stay positive. What else you gonna do in the world right now? Stay positive. You know what I'm saying? And then read between the lines. That's where all that information, all the real stuff is at, is between the lines. That's what we gotta read. You know what I'm saying? And then most of all, stay hot. That's right. Good night now.
Peace.